What's going on, Nature and Family? Mike here, back with another adventure. Today we're off trail, not chasing waterfalls, but actually train tunnels. I'm joined today with Tom, History Hunting with Tom, and today we're going to be going through the Factoryville train tunnels. It's awesome. They got two portals to go through, older and newer, and I'm going to flip this around. I'll give you a look at both of them real quick and share some brief history, and then Tom and I are going to take you guys on through this beautiful adventure. So join us as we take a trip through the Factoryville train tunnel, guys. So Nature and Family, here we are just outside of the Factoryville tunnels. As you can see, there are two portals going through this. The first one here on the right hand side, that is the older one that was constructed in 1854, and the one on the left here, 30 years later, that was bored through to accommodate the growing amount of traffic and usage of the line. So yeah, that's exactly where we're going to be headed today. We're going to actually go through the second tunnel first, split off into the other side, and then come out the other way. Don't know how we're going to do it just yet, because as you can tell, this side here is just flooded, filled with water. So we're gonna, again, make our way through the newer tunnel here on the left. And there are chambers so far in that you could cut over and take a look at the other side. So what do you think, Tom? Ready to go?
Ready.
All right, guys, join us as we take on these Factoryville tunnels. So as we're making our way into the left tunnel here, just want to show you at first just how beautiful this stonework and brickwork is. Again, here's a shot at the ceiling here. Well, let me get my flashlight right. Well, here's a shot looking down up at the brick ceiling. This is one of my favorite features inside. You can see the soot from the trains here. That's that black trail leading down. But just look how beautiful this brickwork is. Not one missing, probably over 100 feet long. And again, reminds me of the culverts that we've been looking at lately, but just on a grander stage. Yeah, this is beautiful, and this is just the beginning. As we walk through here, and you see how the brick just continues on, just for a short amount of distance, and then we'll enter the official part of the tunnel here. But I'll give you a look back around. So here we are, just leaving the brick area of the tunnel, and then now we're going to get straight into the actual brick itself, removed in all stone, as you can see here. Ooh. And we'll be making our way through this tunnel, and this is, I believe, 2,250 feet long. Just a massive tunnel, and you could just barely see the light at the end of the tunnel down there. Now my camera's not even picking it up, but it's just barely down there. And we're gonna be making our way all the way down, and I'll try to show you as much as I possibly could on our way to the other side. So thanks for joining us on this adventure, and I'll definitely be bringing you back every chance I get when we find some interesting things. Yeah, it's so dark in here. I just have to hold it off to the side, or you just catch all the mist. But guys, take a look how just in such good shape this is. I mean, perfectly flat. You do have some bits from the from the cave-ins up above. But all in all, it's not too bad. I apologize for the mist in here. But guys, look at this. We have our first little hole here. And this is, I want to say a ventilation chamber to let the exhaust from the trains exit the tunnel. But yeah, it's so misty in here, guys. I'll give you a look up. And that's a look up at the, oh, I got hit in the eye with a raindrop. There's another shot looking up. Yeah, right here is where the exhaust would have got forced out. And again, this is in the older tunnel itself. And it's so misty, you could see it just pouring off the flashlight. And the big pool of water all the way down at the end of the tunnel. Ooh. And as we look back, again, it's just all misty in here from the water. But yeah, at least we could see it brighter this time. Nice ventilation shaft. But let's turn around and continue on, guys. And that first little portal, guys, is literally just about a quarter of the way in from the tunnel, so. Well, we're gonna continue on and see what else we could find in here, guys. I just can't get over the mist in here. A little bit more cave-ins. Yeah, it's hard to get like a exact shot in here with all this fog. We're using two 3,000 lumen flashlights, and it's still just absorbing all of our light in here. All right, guys, we're coming up on another little section. I mean, this is a little bit higher. I'm not going to be climbing this today, I don't think. But this connects over into the other side. I don't have the shoes for that, and that is quite slick. But up there is another little chamber, and that will lead right into the other side of tunnel number 1. Oh, here's my favorite rock. We have this here. Look at this awesome, perfect triangle. And if you look up, that little hole right where my beam is flashed in, yeah, right there. That's exactly where that little piece snapped off from. Perfect triangle, wedged right into the ground. Would not want to be standing underneath that when it broke off from the top. Well, guys, I'm on top of one of the rocks that caved in from the ceiling. You can see it has some of the drill holes in it, as does that piece that's broken over here. And a lot of times you could see some of the markings from the drills on the wall here. You can see them as they go down. That's pretty interesting to see all those marks left over. But just look how gigantic this tunnel is. Looking back down. And we're maybe a third of the way in. Just about. And again, just a nice simple stroll. Just got to mind your feet for these big chunky rocks that came off the ceiling. But again, all in all, this side has absolutely no train tracks, no rail, no ties, nothing like that. It's just completely wide open. Oh, there's that ceiling. Yeah, guys, it's white on the ceiling. It almost looks like a bioluminescence. It's so, looks glow in the dark to the naked eye. It's not really doing justice on the camera, though. So cool to see that. All right. Here we are. Coming up towards maybe about the halfway mark. And here's another little opening into the next section. This one I might be able to climb up and give you a look. If you want, I'll pause you here and try to make my way up, and I'll just show you what's on the other side here. So Nature and Fam, we're back. And we are standing up on top of that little passage that I showed you. And here's another shot looking directly into the old tunnel, the first tunnel that was bored through the mountain here. And again, I don't see any tracks down this way just yet. But again, I hope this is coming in a little bit more clear. We do have a little bit of mist, but hopefully the lights are a little bit brighter this time. But just a massive area. And we're about, what, maybe 15 feet off the ground? Yeah, there's Tom down there, and yeah, we're just up here climbing. But I'm gonna get down from this little ledge here, and we're gonna carry on, lighten up the tunnel, probably almost midway through, maybe a little less. You can still see the tunnel that way. You can finally see the tunnel here, but I'm gonna cut the lights out just to give you a view of just how pitch black it is in here. All right, ready? And here we are looking just at our exit point. And I'll turn it around and just show you where we came from. And that's where we came from. It's a lot darker without any lights. I'll tell you that, guys. We don't want to be in here without a flashlight. Or even the chintzy one I had when we were here last time. It was okay to walk with, I guess, but for filming, it was a total no-no. Couldn't see anything on the camera. If you watched the videos from the 7 tubs, where we even gone through those small culverts, and you couldn't see anything, just imagine that flashlight in here. It was just totally absorbed in the darkness. This is probably one of the trickier parts for your footing. We do have a lot of ceiling cave in this little part here. And again, this is probably right in the middle of the tunnel. Here's a shot of just all the rubble here. Got a nice size piece here. Just a lot of rubble here on the ground, guys. But we're going to carry on, and we'll bring you back a little bit closer when we get down the tunnel. As we're coming down the tunnel here, found some nice concrete support in between the tunnels here. And this leads us actually into the other side. And you have people here writing their names. You know, the sludge on the wall. I'll give you a look down here into the old tunnel. And that's a look straight down. And again, I love this part of the tunnel because it does have the ties laid down still. Look how cool that looks, how old these are. Oh. They've been laying there for 150 some years now. There's no metal track, just the ties laid down. I believe they said that the track was taken out by like 1915, they said, in one of the earliest pictures that they have of the tunnel being abandoned. The track was already taken out of it. But yeah, this here is the older half. 30 years prior to the side we were just coming down, and again, this has the track or the ties in it. Pretty neat. Yeah, so we're going to continue on walking down the old line, and I love this because you can see actual wooden track here. And again, this is the older side, and you would think on the side that we entered that would have the wooden track because it's 30 years newer, but no, this does have all the old original track in it. It's nice to walk on it. It gives it a better feel than the cave-like feel that you get coming in through the other side. Wow. These are large, aren't they? Aren't these ties larger than... But yeah, this is... And here's that other little cave part that I tried to show you earlier. That's the other opening. So yeah, they have ways to connect both sides. Several different places going down the track. It's like a quarter of the way, 3/4 of the way, a half. Seems like every quarter mile there's like a little hole or a air shaft. Here, guys, take a look at this. Looks like a marking from the drill. That's pretty deep, nice and smooth. That's where they would have came down and either blown it up, or I don't know how else they would have got the material out of the way, but you can see all these striations going up and down the cave walls. I like seeing that. That one's the deepest one that I've seen so far. Oh, there's another one here. So yeah, they go down the walls here. You can see where they blast out the material. And just look at that shot for scale. Tom walking down. I mean, it's such a massive tunnel. And again, loving the track on this side. So we're going down the tunnel just a little further. We're almost now down towards the latter thirds. And we came up to another brick support area. And you have some timbers there, it looks like. Some more timbers, and again, just take a look at that nice stone support beam. And right above that would be another exhaust hole. This would be the second one in this tunnel that I've seen. Perfect round, goes straight up. And that would be there to ventilate the steam engine. Smoke and soot out of the tunnel. But I did see in a picture, there was a date on the wall. One of these walls, but I can't. Can't seem to find it, but we're gonna take a look for that. And if we can find it, I'll bring you right back. But if not, then we'll carry on our adventure. But we're gonna search for that date to see if we can find it. So here we are closing in on the last quarter of the old rail. Again, we crossed over and made our way down to the other side. And we still have a little bit of the wooden tracks here. And you can see the light at the other side of the tunnel barely visible. And just look how the environment changes from the old rails down to this polished river rocket almost. It's like we're in a creek. All these stones are nice, flat, smoothed out. We're edging our way here now towards the end. Ow. And I wish we really saw that date on one of those tunnels that we saw online. That would have been nice. Well, Nature and Family, we are just making our way outside of the tunnel. There's another shot looking all the way back through. You can see how flooded parts of this is getting. It goes up right until it hits that little rocky patch in the straight ahead of you. But as we exit, let's take a look at the beautiful archwork, and you don't really want to stand underneath there. You can see where the roof is starting to give way. So we're gonna exit out of here. And I'll give you a shot looking from outside, inside of the tunnel here. So here's a look back. And again, this one here is the older tunnel, the first built. And if we make our way over, this here is actually the newer tunnel. And you can see a little bit of a collapse, which is, I think, inevitably going to happen to the older side. But just take a look at the cave-in. Yeah, that's the cave-in. Pretty much looking right outside at this point. And there we have Tom down there just getting some good shots in, and right straight ahead is, just look how cool that looks. That's right where the train would have ran, came through the tunnel, picked up and carried on the little light there. But yeah, this is the only part of the tunnel that's actually really in bad shape. I mean, except for a little bit of a couple collapses inside in the middle, but that's to be expected of a 150-year-old bridge with no repairs done to it. But yeah, this is a beautiful little spot to get to. Quick, easy to hike through. A little bit to see here. I mean, you have the little walk-through points, which are pretty interesting. The stonework above the arches. And of course, just the history of it all. And here's another shot looking right at the tunnels. All right, Nature and Family, that's going to do it for today here at the Factoryville tunnels. Hope you had a good time exploring them as much as I did. We're out here getting eaten by bugs, but we're going to get back in and we're gonna get some pictures inside now. But I just want to get Tom's opinion on the tunnels, see how we enjoyed them.
That was an amazing tunnel. Best one I've seen all day.
I have to agree with them. I have to agree with them. So, but we're gonna get back in there, put the flashlights on, get some good pictures, get away from these bugs. They're killer out here. But I want to say thank you guys so much for coming along on this adventure. And if you're new, go ahead, hit that subscription button below here or here, and give me a thumbs up. Lets me know I'm doing a good job. And again, thanks so much for coming along on all these adventures with me. Mike from Mountain Naturing. Enjoy.